Hi everyone, this is Eldad Amara back with another video. I've been doing some videos on a great reset and I've done 2 videos so far this week. One has been on surveillance and the second one has been on finance. This third one is going to be on a point scoring system, also known as a social credit system, which is a really big thing in China at the moment, and it's going to spread worldwide. Trust what I'm saying. Before I go into this video, I'd like you to like, comment, subscribe and share. Please like, comment, subscribe and share. For some reason YouTube has been pulling down some of my subscriptions, and I know some people have naturally unsubscribed to my channel, but I also think through YouTube's algorithms you've pulled down a certain amount of my a certain amount of my subscriptions, and I don't know why this is. I don't know how the Chinese people have been allowing their government to do all this. Check this video. I want you to watch this video quickly.
9/11 brought the Patriot Act and civilian surveillance jumped to a whole new level. The government's reaction to COVID forced hundreds of thousands of businesses to close their doors. Curfews are implemented, lockdowns enforced. These major world emergencies almost always mean increased government power. China already uses a social credit system where technology tracks everything you do and rates you based on your decisions. Criticize the government and they'll take away your ability to travel.
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. It's aggregating data gathered by banks, private companies and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen. The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavior on social media. Criticizing the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no. A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
Man, did you just see this video? I can't believe how the Chinese government are treating their own citizens. They're awarding people for good behavior. For good behavior, they've been awarded credit points, and for bad behavior, right, they're having credit points taken away from them. And you know what? It's coming out. It's going to be spread out worldwide soon, the social credit system. Trust. Imagine you get good points, for example, for eating all the food off your plate and then taking a photograph of it. You don't believe me? This is going on in some schools in China, right? Let me just read the statement to you. This is going on in some schools in China, right? There's a group, or shall I say there's a company, right? The largest cloud computing company based in China. They're called Alibaba, and this is what they're doing in some schools right now in China. And believe what I'm telling you, if we don't watch out and if we don't start pushing back, it's going to come over here to Britain soon, right? I've heard that America, I think they're rolling this thing out as well, yeah, this social credit system, and also Australia, I believe, Durban, Australia, are having this thing slowly implemented in Australia, Durban this year, and also, I believe, Italy. Yeah? Now, how they award the points might be slightly different from China, but still, this social credit system thing is going to be rolled out into other countries. Check this out. In schools participating in the scheme, thousands of students have started using apps that lets them track the amount of electricity used in their dorm. Data that is then used to calculate the amount and rank the dorms each week, and also produce proof that they are eating all the food on their plate by submitting photos as evidence. If you don't believe what I'm telling you, right, go to the source. The source is Reclaim the Net. Yeah, the source is Reclaim the Net. How the hell can the Chinese government, along with the banks, along with corporations, right, be treating the Chinese people like this? You know what? They're gathering information on their citizens, yeah? Gathering information through the banks, how much they're spending and where they're spending their money, right? Through surveillance. So they got facial recognition cameras that can scan people's faces, and they can even see what people look like from the back. Corporations, right? These corporations are watching people's spending habits, such as where they spend their money, how often they spend their money in a certain place, like cinema, yeah? Or maybe on a car, or maybe on a house, or maybe on clothes, or maybe on food, or maybe on petrol, yeah? And all of these things. Also, say a citizen sends their friend a photograph of them on holiday, right? Believe it, these governments, with their surveillance technology, can snatch the texts and photographs out of the air. They're listening in on people's conversation. And all of that stuff, right? This is all being fed into some machine. Now the state, who should be there really for its citizens, right? I've got their citizens under some repressive regime. You just imagine a school, right? In their dormitories, they're saying, they're watching how much electricity or gas you're using in your dorms, right? How much food you're wasting. And just to prove as a good citizen, I'm going to say it again, just to prove as a good citizen, you have got to take a picture of your food and show that you've eaten all the food off of your plate. And then you'll be awarded some kind of credit. Now, I believe in China, the maximum amount of credits you can get is something like 950 credits. Yeah, 950 credits for good behavior. Right? Go the opposite direction. Bad behavior. You could go down to 0. And let me tell you this now. If you get 0 credits, if you got an animal in your house, yeah, a pet like your dog or your cat, they can come and take away your cat and your dog. Yeah? You might have a rabbit or some pet like that, a bird. They'll come and take away your pets. You just imagine they could come in your house and take away your pets. I'll tell you this now. If you look back at some of my past videos, if you look back at my prophecies, right, I talk about people will soon be arrested for showing certain things on their social media platforms. Yeah? Being arrested. They'll have computer police soon that'll come into your homes and they will take away your computer and they will lock you up for coming out against the state or putting out information against the state. Yeah? Which may be true information, but the state want to say that this is false information. Okay? If they don't take away your computer, they will fine you. Yeah? They'll give you a fine and probably say that you cannot use your computer for X amount of time. Believe in China, in cinemas, as you've seen from this video, they are naming and shaming people, right, who are coming out and saying things against the state, who are putting out what the state considered to be false information. How do you know if the information is false or if it's true? The government decides that. They're the ones who's awarding their citizens for good behavior or bad behavior. How do they define good behavior and bad behavior? Listen, there's a man in China one time, he was jaywalking, right, he's walking across the road, and by the time he got to the other side of the road, the bank had taken money out of his account. Oh man, shit. The bank had taken money out of the man's account before he got to the other side of the road. Talk about privacy. Talk about security. You don't have no privacy. You don't have no security because it looks like the state is the ones who are controlling every aspect of your life. You just imagine, they can stop you from flying to another country because you turn around and you said something negative about them, or maybe you haven't paid your bills. Okay? Maybe you haven't paid your bills, or you've been locked up by the police for something, right? And so the state now says that for that you cannot travel. You cannot get on a plane and you cannot go to another country, or you cannot go to another part of China. Same thing with a train. They might say that you cannot travel on a train, or you cannot travel on a bus. You are seen as a bad citizen, and we're going to put your face all over these big billboards that we've got, and we're going to put your face in cinema on the screen and show you as being a bad citizen. They're turning good citizens against bad citizens, right? Bad citizens against good citizens, right? That divide and rule. I keep talking about this great divide. Ever since this thing, right, this in 2020, the society, I should say the world, is starting to split, and you're starting to have citizens. You're starting to have one group coming out against another group. This is done deliberately. This is done deliberately by states across the whole world. Yeah? You've got families coming out against each other. You've got friends coming out against each other. You've got workmates coming out against each other. Right? Now, you're starting to even see it within the work environment. You've got people deciding now to go on strike, such as the railway drivers in the UK, right? They've gone on strike. Some people say they can understand the reasons why they've gone on strike, but they shouldn't have done this at this particular time, yeah? So people are thinking about their particular needs and not thinking about the needs of the railway drivers, for example. Nurses, yeah, last year. Now, people were, before going out every Thursday, they were out there clapping the NHS, the doctors, the nurses, and all the other staff for the NHS, right? But as soon as some doctors and nurses want to go on strike, it was, although it was like people just forgot all about the hard work that these people had been doing. Also, because of the backlog due to this thing going back in 2020, right, it's caused a massive backlog of work. So why, and I'm not saying it personally myself, listen YouTube, because I know you want to try and pull this. I'm not saying this personally myself, but some people feel that they should be paid for the backlog of work which went all the way back to 2020, and plus inflation has risen much more than their wages. That's all I'm going to say about that. Right? I'm not going into the politics of it all, but I'm just trying to express something, and that is people are starting to divide. Society is starting to fragment, yeah? And you've got one set of citizens on this side, right, against citizens on this side, yeah? And now they're starting to subdivide also into groups from those groups, yeah? In the end, we're going to have a society where It's going to be those for the system and those against the system. You know my man Klaus Schwab's, yeah? Klaus, that's Klaus, Schwab's, SCHWAB. Go look him up. I've been talking about him throughout the whole week, yeah? In my videos on surveillance, and finance. This man has talked about the Great Reset. The Great Reset. It is coming. We are actually in it. Klaus Schwab's talks about the Great Reset. Okay? And what is this really? It is a reset of the whole complete economy. Yeah, from finance to politics to science, the whole complete nine. It's all going to be changed, and we're in the process of that right now. And he talks about the discontented. Who are the discontented? The discontented are those people who are starting to see what the system is and where the system is going. So you know what they're starting to do? They're starting to come off grid. They're starting to live more of a self-sufficient life. So they're coming off grid, yeah, and they're setting up things like their own farms, yeah, buying their own pieces of land along with other people and setting up their own little communities. To people like Klaus Schwab, he sees these people as being a threat. Klaus, yeah, and his organization see people, they term the discontented as a threat to their system. So guess what? They're going to come out against them. It's weird how since 2020, wealth, you never seen such a transformation of wealth into the hands of so few people, right? It is the most wealthiest the elite has ever been, yeah, in history, since this thing, yeah, since this. And now the system itself and people within that system are starting to split away. So now you've got, as I say, the ones who are going to go for the system and the ones who are going to be totally against it. Which one are you? Do you want to live in a system like that? Because if you don't, you need to wake up and try and share this video with other like-minded people. If you don't wake up now, I'm telling you, you're going to get swallowed up by the system and by the beast. So you need to make your mind up. Are you for or are you against this great reset? I don't care if you want to call me a madman. I don't care if you want to call me crazy. Right? The people that are setting this new system, they're the ones that's truly crazy. And you, as people, need to make up your mind whether you want to go with the system, right, or you want to go against it. I know which side I sit on, right? Don't bother thinking that you just sit on the fence and try and ride this thing out, right, and see where it's going, because we are already in it. We are already in the Great Reset. Can't you see what's happening to the banks? Can't you see what's happening to people's jobs? Can't you see what's happening in regards to, right? There's a whole heap of things that's going on. Can't you see what's going on in the world right at this minute? Between two nations, or between two countries, which used to be one. Can you not see that? Right? These are all parts of a bigger thing that's coming. The Great Reset is already upon us. Now it's up to you to decide what you want to do. People, can you not see it? Can you not see that we are knee deep in doo-doo? We are knee deep in doo-doo. And the doo-doo will soon reach up to our armpits. Trust what I'm telling you. The doo-doo will soon reach up to our armpits. So listen, you got to try. When I say you got to try, we have got to try to find a solution to this problem. We have got to try and find a solution to this problem. Because if it carries on the way it is, we will be starting to swallow the doo-doo. Do you want to be swallowing the doo-doo? Because I don't. So we need to come together and find a solution. Eldad, Amara.
9/11 brought the Patriot Act and civilian surveillance jumped to a whole new level. The government's reaction to COVID forced hundreds of thousands of businesses to close their doors. Curfews are implemented, lockdowns enforced. These major world emergencies almost always mean increased government power. China already uses a social credit system where technology tracks everything you do and rates you based on your decisions. Criticize the government, and they'll take away your ability to travel.
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. It's aggregating data gathered by banks, private companies and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen. The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career, even behaviour on social media. Criticising the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no. A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.